Good morning, friends. Welcome back. Today I want to show you a little DIY project I did to give myself some more storage and workspace here in my home art studio. Now, if you are a creator of anything, then you know that storage and work surface are both really big premiums that is so hard to come by. So I had this idea to do this little project. I've seen other people make something kind of similar, and I just wanted to show you how I made mine because maybe it will make a big difference in your life. If you're new here, I'm Jen, single mom, artist, and entrepreneur, and this channel is all about building a life that you love. So without further ado, let's get to it. So I started this build off by pulling out the existing 8-cube cabinet that I already had. I was going to use it in the construction of the new, we're going to call it an island because I think that's the best way to describe what I'm building here. I took down this calendar, which I didn't end up using really well last year. Turned out not to be particularly useful. So first thing I'm doing is I'm building a platform that is going to raise the shelves up off of the floor just a little bit, and it's also going to help, once I add the countertop, it's going to put it at basically countertop height, and that was the goal. I'm starting the screws first before into the long pieces before I start screwing them into the shorter pieces, because that just always works out a little bit better. I hate working on the floor. I'm so completely inflexible, and this is always a bit of a challenge. And my my drill is giving me hassles, as well as getting the wood to hold still. Obviously this would be easier as a two-person job if I had a second human being to hold my wood so that it wasn't wiggling on me. I finally got those screws to go in. I had to adjust the drill a little bit, figure out what the right setting was for the torque. I'm no carpenter. This is not something that I excel in. You can see I'm getting angry at the thing. But I'm getting it done, and that is what matters, right? It's going to work, and it's going to do what I want in the end. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect. Because honestly, nothing in this world turns out perfect, normally speaking. Next, I've got to unbox and get started putting together the second shelf. I'm going to set these two shelves back to back, as you'll see, to form my work island. Yeah, we're going to keep calling it that, an island, because that's kind of how it's functioning. I'm organizing my pieces so that I know what is the ends and what are the shelves. It's just the easiest way to do it. And even though I've built one of these before, I still have to reference the instructions because it's been over a year since I built the last one. I also am watching TV. I don't remember what I was watching while I was putting this together, but I had something going on in the background. I find that I need a certain level of background noise in order to be able to focus on what I'm doing. I think that's a symptom of like adult ADHD, but I'm not positive. I often wonder if I do have ADHD in some form. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm using the little Allen wrench tool that comes with the shelf to put the screws into the shelf. These shelves really are super simple to put together. It's mostly just pegs and only like 4 screws in the whole thing. This was a pretty quick process. I think it took, I don't know, 45 minutes or so to put this together. That's the hardest part, is like getting all the pegs lined up so that that last piece goes on in the right place. I'm getting annoyed with my screw over there. It's hard to put it in this weird position, and it's up close against the wall, which is annoying. So I only put the top one in. I'm going to turn the whole thing over in a minute and put the bottom one in. They're really long screws. It takes a minute to get them all screwed all the way in. Of course, when I turned it, half the things popped out and I had to fix them again. No big deal, though. I got them in. I'm wearing my pink sparkly slippers. I live in those things. You don't go barefoot in my office because there's usually some glass shards on the floor that have gotten missed in vacuuming. So never, ever, ever go barefoot in my office. So now I have joining the two shelves together, and then I've slid them up onto the stand, and I am adding the countertop on the top. So this basically takes this up to countertop height. Okay, so this is what I've gotten done so far. I got the new island type thing built. I got more storage hung for glass. And I got a lot of items moved. But I'm very, very tired. And there's still a gigantic mess going on in here. So I have much, much, much more work to do. But we're gonna save that for tomorrow because I'm beat. Okay, I wanted to let you see the studio now that I have added this additional workspace here. So underneath on this side is storage for all of my finished pieces, except for these two lanterns that don't fit underneath. On the wall, I already have these two racks. I added a third for my hanging pieces. And yes, there's a plant sitting there with plant stakes in it, blocking some of it, but that's not the end of the world. That's movable. So I added two shelves. Well, I added one shelf. I had one existing. And this giant desktop so that I would have it as a work surface. So most of my paper type crafting is going to happen on that surface. On this side, I have raw materials for glass fusing and frames for finished products, lanterns that still need pieces made to put in them, additional pots for stained glass succulents, things like that. My little board where I kind of keep notes of what I want to make has always been there. This rack is all storage. Now, it doesn't quite hold everything, obviously, because there's stuff stacked in front. But all of my shipping supplies are over there, as well as all of my market stuff. Then, of course, the kiln has always been here. It's on a rolling rack so that I can push it back against the wall when it's not being used. And this side of the room hasn't really changed, other than I did get this frame thing that will hold my camera so that I can shoot down on my workspace easier for TikToks and for videos. So that's exciting. There's all of my stained glass storage, more stained glass storage, and then of course where I cut my glass and all of that.